Okay, if you hear any whining, those are my dogs in the background for some reason. They just have to bark when I start getting online. Anybody can figure that one out, let me know. So before we begin, I just would like if everybody could please enter their name and library in the chat. I would appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mandy. I went through that a couple of days ago when it's a pain in the neck. How's everybody doing today? Can I hear some voices out there?
Doing well.
Thank you, Betsy.
Busy.
Oh, yeah, I imagine so.
Hi, Bruce. Doing good.
Hey, Judy.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Okay, we're getting a couple of people to stream in, and I am doing well for a Monday, but it's still early, and we will find out stuff as we go along. Just a quick question. How many of you guys' libraries have reopened to the public? And
Washoe County's libraries are not fully reopened yet, but we're increasing hours.
okay,
We're on our way.
oh, cool.
Starting May 1st, there'll be more hours.
Yeah, I think the state library will be bringing us back into work soon. As soon as we're controlled by the governor, and if the governor says we can go back in. Love your mask. That's awesome. I think my wife has that one. Yeah, it's looking like we're all starting to get back into what it was before the pandemic, hopefully, and hopefully soon. And for our icebreaker today, who's gotten their first or second shot? Because I've gotten my first one. And to do this, I would like you guys to go down to the reactions on your screen and click on it once, and you'll see a raise hand option. I want to test if everybody knows how to do this, and just raise your hand like that. Anybody not finding it, let me know. I see a thumb. That's good enough. Yeah, awesome. Okay, now, real quickly, can we lower our hand? If you've raised it already, like that? Okay, great. You guys have mastered the hardest thing for people to find lately. So, good job. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen here. And let me minimize this for a second. And this is the summer reading program and youth services meeting for April 19th, 2021. We're going to try to go about 45 minutes so you guys can get back to the desk or get to your next shift and not get the evil eye from your comrades. And today's agenda is we're going to have our introduction, which we kind of did, our rules for the Zoom meeting, announcements. We're going to hear from Kim from Teaching Books. And we're going to ask you guys how you're going to be, we're going to discuss today how to promote summer reading program and some future, and then we're going to come up with a topic for next time. And like I said, this should take about 45 minutes, hopefully. And basically, we're going to share ideas, share resources. We're going to strengthen our Nevada library community, and we're going to share news and information. Okay, in managing our meetings, please be respectful to one another. Do raise your hand with that little emoticon that we just did. Please mute your microphones during the meeting. If possible, place your phones on vibrate and your dogs on mute. And please share any links you have in the chat. And our announcements today. We have a program that I want to discuss briefly called All Together Now. We're going to talk about I'm going to let you guys know about the Penguin Random House open license, online story time and classroom. And we're just going to speak about the Padlet one more time. Okay. For 2023, All Together Now, CSLP is looking for photographs to inspire and help communicate what All Together Now means for our library community. These photos will not be published or depicted in paint, but will help inspire and provide visual references to the upcoming summer reading artist in 2023, Frank Morrison. We are looking for any photos of story times, outdoor programming, friends sharing books, anything that captures the sense of kindness, friendship, and community and libraries inspire. Okay, and you can send this information to me by April 29th. It'd be greatly appreciated, and I'll forward it on to the summer reading CSLP so that they can do it. And like I said, this is not going to be published. It's not going to be depicted in a portrait or any characters or anything like that. It's just to give a reference to the artist. Does anybody have any questions about that? You can raise your hand if you do. Okay, I'm not seeing any. And let me go back to sharing our screen real quick. And wait, actually, before I do that, hi, Jasmine, welcome. And I need to do a little bit of, okay, Kim, I made you a co-host real quick. So when your time comes up, you can just share your screen if you want to. Is that okay?
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome. And one moment, please. Okay, and one sec. Okay, thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm going to talk about the good news. There's been a publisher license extension till September 30th, 2021. And in order to encourage reading in classroom read aloud experiences and to support schools and public libraries forced to close by escalating COVID, Penguin Random House is permitting teachers, educators, librarians, booksellers, and other qualified individuals to create and share story time and read aloud videos and live events according to the following guidelines, which have been extended till September 30th, 2021. This open license is not meant to grant permission for the posting of any pre-recorded audiobook product. So that's pretty good news, I think. Agree? I hope. And let's talk about our Padlet. Okay, do start adding some stuff to the Padlet. It's a really great resource. I haven't been adding anything recently, but I will be updating it more now the closer we get to summer reading. These are, this is the website address. I will put this in the chat, and I hope you guys will start contributing to it, and let's make it a great thing for you guys to use as a reference this summer. And now our guest speaker today is Kim Davik, and I'll let her take it from here. You want to introduce yourself, Kim?
Absolutely. So thank you. My name is Kim Davik, and I'm the Director of Implementation and Educational Support for Teaching Books and Book Connections. And I'm thrilled to be able to be here with you again today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Oh, Bruce, for some reason it said it isn't really letting me. Check that again. Sorry about that. But while we're adjusting that, what I can let you know is you should have all received from my colleague Crystal. I asked for us to be able to share with you. Oh my goodness. It still says, let me try it one more time. Nope. Bruce, I am not able to for some strange, it keeps telling me I'm the co-host, but there we go.
There you go.
Magic.
Sorry about that.
No,
Technology.
That's okay. It's, there's always something, right? So thank you. You should have all received from my colleague Crystal a flyer to use to share with your staff, with your teams. If you did not get one, please let us know, because it is library specific. So all of the links there were created for you to be able to use and would all provide statistics back for you. So things like summer reading lists and everything, it was all connected for you as if you were signed into your own library system. And I have something really exciting to share with you, but I want to first make sure that if anybody did not get those, to please pop that into the chat window so I can get that information. And if you have any questions about that, please let us know. But if you didn't, okay, I thank you for popping that in there, because it's very helpful for us to be able to see. And then I can, if I can get all your emails from Bruce later in case it went to the wrong person, but thank you. So something really exciting happened, and it reminds me a bit about what Bruce just shared with you about permissions. And so there is the ability on Book Connections. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. For all of the Meet the Author illustrations with the movies and recordings, the read along performances, the complete readings here, all of the resources and tools on Teaching Books or Book Connections. You remember, it's the same database. It's just the school format and the public library format, but we want you to have both because you're working hand in hand with your schools for summer reading and everything else. And your patrons may come in and be more familiar with teaching books. All of the resources here, if I would either search complete book readings or scroll down just a little bit on the homepage to this complete book readings, these are available to you to use and share. So for instance, if you wanted to look for, this is complete books and poems, if I was looking for the complete reading for Last Stop on Market Street, you can use this complete video reading by the author, or this video book reading by the author and illustrator. You can use these, sharing these tools or playing these, you have permission. This will never change. So this one I can share with anyone, the book recording of Last Stop on Market Street. I can send that out. I can put it on Facebook, Twitter, or I can use it within my performance. So all of those are available to you. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to show you, so I'm going to go to For Professionals up in the upper right, reminding us about summer reading and the ability to use the pre-made list. So Tails and Tales is here. So one of the three lists, let's say we wanted the children's list. So here for the 364 titles, we have over 3,000 resources. What is new, brand new since the last time I met with you, is the Embed List tool. So if you wanted to use this Embed List on your library homepage, here's the code for you. And if it's JavaScript, so if you can't use JavaScript, here's the link. But if you can pop this in, and it looks like I got signed out while I was in here, I need to sign in as you. And this shouldn't happen to you because get right back in. I want Nevada. I'm in a little loop here. So let me go back. Sorry about that. So anyway, you would copy the code, you would get this display. And what it would look like is it would be framed out. And I'm going to do it again in just a second. I'm going to get myself signed back in. It would be framed out and all of the narrowing and filtering tools would work for you. So the code would be right there. It says it knows me, but it does not know me correctly. So let me just do it really quick for you. There we go. And get that professional login signed in. I want you to see how nice that looks. Just a great resource because we don't want to have to rely on our patrons knowing about our resources. We want to get them right to resources for the books. So Tales and Tales, I'm going to check this children's one again. And now when I embed that list, I don't know why it's doing that for me. So I found a flaw right in front of you for a training. Isn't that just lovely? So let me just go ahead and go over to teaching books and see if that will undo for me. Because you can go to the same place. Well, I'm not gonna, I'll do that at the end while you're doing something else. I don't want to take our time for this. So if I would, but the code would be, it would be the display would frame out like this. It would look like that list, and all of the tools are there. They're beautifully done and have all the resources there. So that is key. Let me just go back to that list. So then again, your patrons would have access for this particular list for all those 3,000 resources. Again, if they wanted to pull up, then what are those complete book readings? What are those, which one of those titles have trailers? They would be able to use all the tools within that format. So I can see a trailer for Flora and Ulysses. I can see one for the one and only Ivan or Pax, whatever I was interested in. The same thing for, I'm going to take that filter off. If I wanted to find I'm going to go back to the collaborative CSLP list, because now I want to find the ones that are for the ones that are for my littles, because we were just talking about with the littlest ones, early literacy. If I would prefer, then maybe I want to see which ones have story time activity kits all ready to go. So they have spent time in your story time, and now you want to send that activity home. So perhaps I want Bear Came Along. I open that up, and now I can scroll down to that story time kit. And here it is. I can share that on social media or in a follow-up email. I can open it up, but that sharing allows me to send or use this whole storytime activity kit. And there's a whole variety of those, which are really beautifully done by publishers and all set to go for you. I just want to pause there while I figure out what in the world happened with my embed tool, because I want you, that's a really great resource and want you to be able to use that. Are there questions though? I think the key things that, yes, Bruce.
Yeah, could you show us the flyer option, please?
Absolutely. So let's go back to For Professionals, because I want to find the summer reading. Let's say you are doing a display and you want Tales and Tales up, and you want to have this in on a display for your young adults for this section, perhaps the ability in share. So this is for the entire list. So we can do it in multiple ways. If I wanted to share all 128 book results and 800 resources, I use the share. I can either, as Bruce said, I can create this flyer, I can create bookmarks that have resources ready to go home, but this flyer could be then right out on your on your display. So it would give a QR code and a link, and then it would have your own library sign in information if you don't have it already set up with your library book, with your library cards, etc. But it's another way when readers are at home to get right to the resources that you've given them, and then it allows them to get the stats from all those searches. So you have the ability then, let's go back. So here is, I can share and make that display code. I can also share and have at my library desk, I can have bookmarks. They will come out 3 at a time. And so then again, it will have it will have a QR code to scan, but all the resources, and it tells me exactly what it is. So for young adults in this particular case, and whoever gets the bookmark, then they scan the code, they use the URL, they get directly into the resources, immediate access. So it gives a nice opportunity. Then again, if if you had these out, I open up Salt to the Sea, and maybe I have a few of these out on display, I can go ahead with anything that speaks. So the name pronunciation, the trailer, the Meet the Author recording where Rudis Apetius is talking about writing this. So we open that up. And again, now we can listen and we can share that resource. Anything that speaks, then we also have the opportunity to have a shelf talker. So now we could have that right on the book itself or the bookmarks, or you could just have a flyer for this. But it's nice because it gives you all of those different ways to get your patrons interested in the book and maybe make the choice about what they want to take home with them. Because who can book talk a book better than the author? Very few of us, right? But she gives us all of these different resources. So Bruce, thank you for bringing up the flyers. Those flyers are really helpful. The other thing that is key too is I showed you under professionals, you can also type summer. If I type summer, it's going to give me some choices because perhaps you wanted titles with summer. You wanted to do something quite clever with authors who have the name summer. You've also got your summer reading programs that we already showed, but we also see some list results or some award lists or some series, because we know that keeping that reading going all summer long, sometimes it's connecting our kids to a series that they're interested in and letting them see that. So here are all those lists. You can see lists and just a few lists that come up in the summer. The Tales and Tales will come up, but there will just be all sorts of ideas for summer as well. Other thing I wanted to show you was that beautiful part about being able to take a look at the series. So let's say someone was interested in Percy Jackson. So then what might that look like? So when we see the series, now we see all of the titles, and we also see what book, you all know that, but do your readers know that? So book 1, book 2, book 3, again, you can share this, creating a label sheet, and then your readers, if these were inside all of the titles, it would give you then all of the series in order. They'd be able, when they opened that up, this is what they would see. All of the resources for these titles and the titles in order. So another way just to connect and keep readers reading all summer long. Any questions? Lovely. I am going to make sure that anyone who put their email in, that you get the copy that was sent, because sometimes things don't go where they're supposed to go. We end up with them in, I don't know, lost in space. And so we can make sure that you get those resources. This once you see those, and for those of you who saw those resources too, please let us know if things like that are helpful to you. And Bruce, you can be the contact for things like that. If people are having conversation beyond summer reading about, now we're really looking for resources and tools for supporting social emotional learning, or maybe we're really looking for ideas for adding STEAM STEM into our literacy spaces within the library, whatever their interest, whatever all of you are interested in, Bruce can be the go-to point for that, and then make sure that we get you things that are helpful. That's our goal.
Oh, thank you, Kim. And everybody, can you give her a big round of applause with your emoji? And stop sharing your screen, please, Kim.
I will. Thank you all so very much for the time. And I'm going to just copy right now.
Oh, we do have
The
a
chat.
question. Do we
Oh.
have a question,
Oh,
Ms.
go
Garcia? Nope. Oh, okay.
Okay, let me save the chat real quick before I head out and let you continue on your meeting. And again, I'm going to pop my email in the chat window in case you ever have questions. Don't hesitate to reach out. Plus, Bruce knows where I can always be found. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope you have a lovely day. And thanks for inviting me, Bruce. I'll come back anytime.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a safe day.
You guys too. Thank you.
Okay. So I hope you guys found that interesting. Just remember that one of our discussion today is going to be on how to promote summer reading. And I think the flyer that she showed you guys would be a great promotional tool, and it looks amazing. The only downside that I could see in it is that you have the QR codes, and sometimes people don't know how to access that code or what even that code is. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what's this? And, somebody had to explain to me. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. And like I said, our big question today is, how are you going to be promoting this year's summer reading program? And I'm gonna stop the share so we can all see each other. And mostly I think we're going to have our libraries open in the summer. It looks like the people are getting vaccinated on a good pace and a good clip. So we might be having in person again, but we're also going to still have the digital possibilities. But neither one of these are going to be effective if the public doesn't know. I have one major suggestion for you guys, is to get in contact with your schools systems as soon as possible and get something together for them so that they can help promote the summer reading for the kids when they go out. I'm pretty sure every school has a newsletter, and you can probably go through the school librarian if you have one. But I think that would be probably the quickest promotional thing that you can do, and keep reminding them on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on how much they react to that. But the other thing is if they're having a meeting or something, even if it's on Zoom, please attend and let them know about your promotions for the summer. That would be my best suggestion at the moment. So let's go around the room real quickly. Does anybody have a promotion strategy they'd like to share? Let's start with Judy, because she's with Washoe.
Hi, yes, we are, of course, with us being open more, we feel that our staff is our #1 promotion for this event. And that's what we really lacked last year, no matter, how much you do through social media, through your community partners, everything. There's nothing like someone saying, oh, hi, have you signed up for summer reading yet? And that's what we're going to really rely on mostly. We have other things, which I'll tell you in a sec, but we're doing 2,000 of our summer activity bags, which contain a book, activity sheets. Mela, I just picked them up today. We have them printed, a sample of all of them, hot off the press. that will go in all the bags. And so that's really exciting. 400 of those will be distributed through our community partners, such as the Northern Nevada, I said that wrong, the Food Bank of Northern Nevada. So we'll be doing things with them. We also have the school district that we're going to be probably doing some things with. A press release, of course. The Northern Nevada Reading Coalition will be working with them, and they're going to be coming out with actually a printed little publication this year promoting summer learning and what all the partners bring to the table. So we'll be one of the partners on there promoting, of course, our summer reading challenge. And then PBS Reno also will be working with them and, you know, promoting things mutually through them. So I don't know, maybe Mela has something else I forgot, but that's pretty much what we're doing. And we're really excited, especially for our activity bags, because we've never done that before and they have a craft in them and everything. So I know that some of the other library systems that we've been meeting with were our inspiration for that. Some of you at the table that had already done that, and we never really ventured into that. So, you know, I feel like this is really important, sharing and being at this table, because without probably all of your encouragement, it may have not been something that we tried. But I was just in the office this morning and looking at all the pallets of stuff and the 2,000 crayons, and I was like, I'm so excited. So anyways, that's what we're doing.
You know, you're a children's librarian when you get excited about crayons. But
I know.
yeah, it's amazing. Alicia had a comment in the chat, which I'm going to read because this is going to go onto our website, our YouTube channel, I'm sorry. We are going to put the bookmark in our packets. We are going to make promo videos for our YouTube channel and pass out flyers through the Clark County School District, I think, if I'm wrong about that. Robert Jones is working on getting the info out to the schools. Yes, utilize the schools. And we're going to advertise on TV and local newspaper. You might want to look into your free newspapers, because everybody seems to read those, and maybe you could get not necessarily an free advertising public service announcement. I don't know how it works, but also contact your big newspaper as well. And maybe they can even come by the library and do an interview if you want. I mean, or if it's possible. We're going to advertise, we are also going to give out flyers and posters to the schools. Excellent. Using that school connection again, the town is also helping us promote. We are on their events calendar, which is another great idea. Take a look at your town or city's event calendar and see if you can get on that. And we're going to be having their programs at the park, which my wife is doing as well. It's a good way to space out the little kids, and the weather right now is great, but who knows what's going to be in the summer. So I hope you have a tent canvas or something that you can rest under. Also, local businesses are going to donate and promote the program as well, which is also good. Maybe if we can attend or send a representative to some of these civic group meetings, like the Urban League and things like that, or the school board meetings or something like that, where you can get out the message, it would all be good. We have, that's really fantastic, Alicia. Way to go. That's a lot of work in a short period of time, and good organization. The thing I would like to point out to you guys is we all had to do digital last summer, and you picked up some really good skills on that. I would say don't give up on your digital, even if you're having in-person story times. It's something that you can build on and you can use to promote the library. You probably don't have to devote like a whole story time to it, but maybe break it up. I think Washoe breaks them up. I think the libraries in Las Vegas, I cannot think of the name, bad on me, but they also have shorter story times. And I think that parents really appreciate having the option, because sometimes they can't make it into the library. and having your digital collection there for them to view. And as long as you don't violate the copyright rules, you know, it's a pretty good deal for you guys. And maybe if you feel comfortable enough, you could stream your story times if you have the equipment available to do that, live stream it. So you have, if you have an audience and you have an audience at home, you're reaching a lot more people. And so anybody have any other great ideas? Or good ideas? Go ahead, Judy.
I forgot to mention that we are, of course, doing all of our events, which will be virtual. And we have a couple kind of standout ones that we're requesting submissions from the public for from the children for stories for our story stroll, and their stories will be posted at various parks throughout our community. So we'll be promoting that as well. And also, we're working on some things with KUNR. We're going to be having little story spots. Mela might want to jump in on that throughout the summer, and that's something that may continue. So we're heavy on our virtual events. You know, we have activities that go along with the craft that will be virtual, so they can tune into that. They'll be archived as well. And we'll have all of our, of course, virtual story times throughout summer, our early reader feature, our break with baby. And then we have wild Wednesdays with a local, a organization with wild animals. That's going to be throughout the summer. So just really big on that. And we are also planning on how to convert into more in-person. So in the summer, we may do some pop-up story times in the branches. We're not quite sure on that, how that looks yet, but we're thinking about that as a possibility. And then we will also continue some of our virtual events. Our youth services and library events team is working on planning for fall right now.
Great. I would like, if you could, maybe you could put your flyers on the Padlet, upload the flyers to the Padlet so everybody can see what your flyers look like.
Okay.
And everybody else, any promotional materials you have for your upcoming summer reading, let's put them up on the Padlet.
Okay.
And I really think that you guys are doing awesome as always, or given all the circumstances that you're in. I don't think people appreciate the larger libraries' obstacles to doing a lot of this stuff. Because in a pandemic, we learned a bigger population is not necessarily a good thing, because it's like you have more chances of contracting COVID and or any other airborne virus or whatever. And when you're in the smaller ones, maybe not as much. You know, but there are trade-offs on everything. But you guys have really done really well given the circumstances. And, you know, if they gave out a medal for libraries surviving pandemics, we'd all get one. You know, but mostly it's just sort of like promotion at this stage is a good idea. If you can. The other thing I would also suggest that somebody else had suggested a while ago was that if you all have voicemail on your phones when you're not at work, if you could do a little blurb that summer reading is coming up, you know, and it might be a good idea to record that into your message of operating hours and things like that. You know, just do a little quick blurb that will help get out the word. And if you do it enough, people will remember it, whether they want to or not. You know, it's kind of like just a suggestion that somebody else had made that I thought was really a good idea when I heard it. Other than that, let me share our screen because we got about 6 minutes left. And okay.
Bruce,
Yep.
I did have a question for everyone.
Sure.
I wondered how everyone was, if they were promoting in a concerted effort to the Hispanic families or Spanish-speaking populations around the state? And if so, what you were doing?
And just to add that your summer reading manual should have Spanish material or promotional ideas, materials and stuff like that. It's thank you for asking. I really, I try to remember those things as well. But is anybody out there doing anything for your Spanish speaking communities or your other communities for promoting summer reading?
We're not necessarily for that, but for the low income communities that are away from our building, we are creating with our LSTA grant kits that have activities for the 8 weeks of summer. And we're gonna either, our contact at the Boys and Girls Club who we were working with moved to the city. And so the new contact is not sure if they want to be our distribution site, but we're sure we can work with the schools or like the Title I schools in those areas or the free lunch schools and get them distributed, because we know that not all of the kids can make it to our buildings.
And that also, if you're using your libraries as a food distribution point over the summer, it's a good place to promote your summer reading. You know, that would be one. But do not forget that there are other communities that we need to do a better job of outreaching to the summer, for summer reading especially. And I do want to add one other thing that now that Betsy reminded me of something is I read an article in the New York Times about a week ago, which unfortunately has a paywall and I couldn't share. And that is, it's not a good idea to tell children they're behind in their reading and then they're, you know, that they lost a year. And because it kind of puts more stress on them, puts more stress on the parents, and it makes them feel like now they're, you know, because when you're a child, being left back a grade was like such a stigma when I was in school. If I didn't go with my friends to the next grade level, it was a horrifying, you know, thought, which is one reason why we had to do better and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You didn't want to be made into the guy who wasn't, or the girl who wasn't smart enough to get to the next grade. And I think it would be wise, you know, that even when talking to the parents who are under an incredible amount of stress and confusion about how well their children are going to do, to not mention that, you know, they lost a year. Just say, you know, just treat it like the year never, you know, that everything went well last year. You know, just concentrate on raising the interest in reading and love of books and activities and things like that. We don't need to be bringing anybody down. And let me share my screen again. Okay, so let's talk about future discussion ideas. As we get closer and closer to summer reading, is there anything you guys would like to talk about at our next meeting?
I'll just say that I love having Kim or people from Book Connections come in for these meetings and giving us little dig deeper kind of sessions, because I am always so impressed by how many awesome resources there are on that database.
Yeah, Kim is a gold mine. It's like, I am so amazed with that program and all the things that it can do. Because when I started, not having any of those resources, I had moments where I was totally panicking on what to do for my story time, you know, and this is a great organizing tool. It's a great resource, especially for crafts, because I am not the craftiest person out there. And I think, you know, do take advantage of all of our databases, you know, have a good, you know, if you got some time, just take a look at what is on your own databases, because sometimes that can be a real lifesaver. And Yes.
Mela, were you done? I'm sorry. Okay. I just thought we should maybe, what we're working on right now, and it's, we have a time frame, and finish time is, what does fall look like? We've never done registration for story time, so we're, not struggling, but yet we need to know what that looks like and how to transition. So maybe what other systems have already done in the past with that, what everyone else is thinking of, because we want to be on track with the state and what other libraries are doing, and not, oh, well, they're doing this, this, and this, and oh, we didn't think of that. So maybe talk about what that looks like, because I think that's a huge thing for us right now. What to keep virtually and what to bring back safely.
Excellent. I like that. Jessica Jones added that she'd love to see more handouts and flyers people are giving out as a part of their pickup folders or bags. We are trying to include fun activities for each age bracket, and that's really good. And they're doing the virtual programming until fall, except for the outdoor movies. And outdoor movies, what a great promotion for summer reading if we can manage it. Maybe make it a fake drive-through where you just have people pull up in their cars and shoot the film up against the wall if you can figure out how to get the sound to everybody to watch. Or you could find maybe even silent movies to show. So you don't have to worry about that. But dang, that's pretty good. I like that. And yes, I think for the next one, let's talk about flyers. The newsletter mentions supplemental materials coming in April. I've been looking for it, but I can't find it. Ooh. Okay, has anyone found it? We are staying virtual, and Betsy says we're staying virtual this summer with lots of craft kits. Mandy, I'll see what's going on with that. I think Norma mailed them out, but if you need something, we'll find out. We can get it to you. Norma's handling most of that, but just send me your email with your question so I can forward it on to her, please. I'd appreciate, we'll get you, we want to get you all, we want to help you guys through this summer, because something tells me this summer is going to be the crazy summer where everybody goes a little bit hog wild. They want to get out, they want to interact, they want to do things. The weather will be nice, and we can take this opportunity to let them, because I think we got a lot of goodwill from the community over the pandemic, and all the stuff we did for them. And building on that so we can strengthen libraries in Nevada would be awesome. And you guys are, I would like to give you guys a big rainbow clap for everything you're doing, because I know you guys are under it to get things up and running and back to normal. And there's a lot of pressure, but we got to be safe, and we have to be careful, and we have to, staff has to watch after themselves. And let me share the screen one more time. Okay, if you need to get in touch with me, here's my contact information. I'm going to add my cell phone because it's probably the best way to get in touch with me if there's an immediate need. I'm still not at the office as of yet, but I'm pretty sure that will, I still check my phone every day for messages. So if you need to use that number, please do. But email is always great. And I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so I can share that stuff with you guys. But for the most part, how is everybody doing? Let's hear from everybody. Starting with Betsy. And Betsy, afterwards, pick somebody, please.
Okay, yeah, we're getting ready for our virtual summer. We have kits everywhere that we're putting together. I feel like we're doing well, as can be expected. We will see what happens with the summer this year. Hopefully our participation will be up from last summer. And also hopefully everyone who requested the kits for these has received them from the NLA license plate. You do have to do a little bit of prep work cutting some of the pieces. But, I'll pick Pam.
Pam?
Sorry, trying to find my unmute button. Every meeting's different. As a branch, we are just getting everything ready because we're going to be slowly reopening. Most of our branch is working as contact tracers for the school district, so we won't be opening until July more fully. Hopefully we can get out of contact tracing as soon as possible and everybody's vaccinated, and then we can open more. But we're excited to start handing out packets because we're going to do bags here at Washoe County, and we're super excited to start doing that and hand out books to kids and actually be able to talk to them. Be very exciting. And I will pick. Let's see. I have to find it. I have to see everybody.
We're running out of people.
Oh, Alicia? Alicia, am I saying that right?
I think Alicia's on chat. Oh yeah, Alicia's mic isn't working, but she'll type it in 1 second. Okay, we are probably coming after her little thing, after her chat comes up. I'll read it in and then we'll call it a day so you guys can get on to your next projects and desk time or whatever they have you scheduled for. Thank you all for attending. I hope I will post this with the link and send out the email to everybody so that you can pass it along to your colleagues if they want to watch the meeting. And we're still waiting. Other than that, everybody having good weather, I hope. No freak snowstorms today, that's good. You know, and for the most part, I think the weather is getting a little warmer. Here we go. Alicia says, we are going to have one in-person event each month. Good idea. We will also take and make packets for each age group and a STEAM virtual challenge. Nice. We will also be decorating the children's to look like a jungle. Please take a picture and share this with us and on the Padlet. I think that would be awesome. Oh yeah, yes, I need to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have it memorized, but give me a second and I'll get that up there. Or hold on, actually, okay. They're not letting me do that. 1 second. Okay,
Mandy and Jessica quickly put it up already.
thank you so much.
They
I'm
are
sorry.
on it. Thank you.
I always get confused with the 2021 SRP bit, but thank you so much. But there's the Padlet for anybody watching at home. And I'll leave it up for a couple of minutes, or a minute or so everybody can get that. I'm mentally writing it in my hand so that I make sure I give everybody enough time. And I will be, you can pause it. What am I saying? You at home, please pause it if you need to write it out. Anyway, thank you all for attending today. Our next one will be, let me share the screen one more time. So Next one is going to be May 17th on a Monday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. And I will stop recording in just a second. Okay. And if anybody at home needs this information, just please pause. Okay, and I